Om Shanti. This is the Avyakt Murli of 23rd of June, 1973. The title is Masters of the Alokik Treasures. Do you consider yourselves to be both lighthouses and lighthouses? According to the present stage, through which form can all of you carry out the task of bringing about world benefit? Do you know that form? At present, there is a need for being the form of a lighthouse. As the children of the Almighty Authority, do you experience having become lighthouses? Do you consider yourselves to be filled with all powers? Not just some powers, but all powers. This is because there is the praise that no power is lacking in the treasure store of Brahmins, those who are full of all powers. It is sung of the deities. Nothing is lacking in the treasure store of deities. In the same way, it is said that no power is lacking in the treasure store of Brahmins because they are Master Almighty Authorities. The Father's name is the All-Powerful One, the Almighty Authority. That is, you are the children of the Master of the treasure store of all powers. So can the children who are the masters of all the Father's powers have anything lacking? They are the children, and so the masters. Is there anyone here who does not consider himself to be a child, so a master? All of you sitting here are masters, are you not? You are the masters of the treasure store of all powers, are you not? Can those who are the masters of the treasure store ever have the thought that they do not have the power to tolerate, or that they do not have the power to recognize Maya, or that they do not have the power to look after the treasures of knowledge, or that they do not have the power to merge their thoughts, or that they do not have the power to churn and remember the treasures? No matter how much your intellects may expand in any task, do you not have the power to merge that expansion in a second? Can those who are such masters speak such words or have such thoughts? What would you call them if they did? Could you call their stage at that time the stage of a master? A master is always a master. Can someone who is a master one moment and a beggar the next be called a Master Almighty Authority? From being a master, why do you become a royal beggar again and again? When a child comes to the father and asks, Baba, help me, give me power, give me your support, what would you call that? Would you not call that one a royal beggar? These are the sanskars of devotion. Just as you used to say in front of the images of deities, you are full of all virtues and I am without virtue. In the same way, a Master Almighty Authority comes and says to the Father, Baba, you are the ocean of all the powers, but I do not have the power. I am weak. I am defeated by Maya. I am not able to control my wasteful thoughts. I am afraid of obstacles from Maya. So are these not the same sanskars of devotion? You have already been told to know the Father as He is and what He is. However, due to your devotional feelings, you consider the Father to be omnipresent. This is also said to be an insult to the Father, is it not? You use the strongest form of insult. In the same way, if someone who is stable in his elevated stage of self-respect, a Master Almighty Authority, a Master Ocean of Knowledge, Love and Bliss, said that he does not have a little power, Would you call him a master ocean? If he calls himself a master ocean of knowledge and bliss, and then says this, is he not insulting himself? Is it a sign of self-respect to insult the self? To speak such words or have these thoughts is like insulting oneself and insulting the Father. How? Firstly, the Father is the bestower and he himself gives without being told. He does not give just because someone tells him to. Therefore, to make the bestower like a human being, is this not insulting him? Who is it that only does something when told to? Human beings. Secondly, you become those who remind the Father. What does this prove? Has the Father forgotten his duty? Is this why you remind the Father? Baba, you are my helper, and therefore help me. What would you call this? It is remembered that Brahmin means to be an embodiment of all attainment. How can someone who is an embodiment of all attainment lack anything? This is why it is said that the stage of Brahmin is a powerhouse. Now, do you understand the language of being beyond? That is, being a powerhouse? These are not the words of a powerhouse. The time for announcing the final result is now coming close. If at the time of the final result, someone is still continuing to study the first lesson, and he's not strong in that either, then what would the result be? This is why Bap Dada is still telling you ahead of time that anyone who wishes to take a high jump or claim a number ahead, then the next 6 months, that is, this year is now your chance to stabilize yourself in whatever stage you want. In order to make yourself complete in this way, in just a little time, making ordinary effort will not do. You now have to make intense effort. That is, you have to practice making all three, your thoughts, words, and deeds the same. This is known as being an intense effort maker. For instance, your intellects understand that you are the children of the bestower, but there is a difference in your words and your deeds. In your thoughts, you think that you are the Brahmins who are the most elevated of all souls, but there is a difference in your words and deeds. You think that you are world benefactors, but there is a difference in your words and deeds. When all three are the same, it is known as intense effort, that is, in being equal to the Father. Will all the elephant riders, the cavalry, and the infantry, that is, the people of the spiritual army, be revealed after 6 months? Until you have revealed yourselves to one another, how can you be revealed to the world? And if you are not revealed to the world, how would glorification take place? So, in order to reveal the Self and the Father, and in order to bring about the glorification of the Father, what is the last effort, that is, the last and so fast effort that still remains to be made? What is the fast effort? This fast effort, which is the last effort. Do you know what it is? What effort comes in front of you? What is the method of making fast effort through which you will become equal to the Father? Through which you will attain the success. You cannot attain success without using the right method. You have been told this many times. It is just one word. The method of last and so fast is just one word, a promise. To make a promise in any one aspect that you must not do this or that you now have to do this. The method of a promise is that last is fast. To make a promise means you have a thought and you become the form of that. It takes a second to make a promise. So now the fast effort should be of 1 second only. Because you were told that the result of the last paper is to be announced, how much time will you be given for the last paper? A second. The time of the last paper is fixed and the paper is also fixed. You have been told about the paper to be a conqueror of attachment and an embodiment of remembrance. You will be given an order to become a conqueror of attachment in a second. So if you do not become a conqueror of attachment and an embodiment of remembrance in a second, if you lose that time in making yourself an embodiment or in battling, if you lose time in stabilizing your intellect, what would happen? You would fail. You will only receive the time of 1 second. You are listening to this for the first time. You are listening to the paper for the first time too. Therefore, how many of you should pass? With the method of fast effort of making a promise, reveal yourselves. Reveal the Father, that is, with a promise, bring about the glorification. Is this difficult? Courage and enthusiasm, intoxication and the goal. If you constantly keep these with you, then just as you have in many cycles, you have already fully passed. In that case, nothing is difficult. Simply keep the 4 main subjects in front of you for the next 6 months and check yourselves as to whether you have passed marks in all of them. Here you should at least receive pass marks. However, special souls should keep the aim of claiming full marks. If you have good marks in 1 or 2 subjects and less marks in 1 or 2 subjects, do not think that you would pass. What happens if someone fails even 1 subject? Those who have to take the paper a second time will have made that 1 year ago to waste, will they not? That is, they will have missed out on being part of Sun Dynasty. You will then miss out on the first fortune of the Sun Dynasty kingdom and the reward of the first form of the nature of being an embodiment of all attainments. Will you not? Yes, while on the path of ascending, if you claim full marks at the end, you would then receive some elevated reward in a silver age. Therefore, do not even think this. The first effort is to pass fully in all 4 subjects, that is, to claim full marks. The second effort is to claim pass marks in all subjects. However, you must not even make the third effort because you must not even think it. Baba is still giving you time. Make yourself complete in all subjects. Do you understand? 3 groups have to be announced. Number 1, the ever-ready group. Number 2, the ready group. And number 3, the lazy group. You have to transform yourselves in these 6 months and bring yourselves into the first group, which is the ever-ready group. The moment you receive an order, you do it. You must not be lazy in accepting an order. You yourself will have a vision of yourself in the mirror and you will see which group you belong to. Just as a cycle ago, a Brahma Kumar, Navid, had a vision of himself in a mirror. In the same way, you will have a vision of yourself in the mirror of knowledge, and you will see which group you belong to and which grade you will come into. The grades would be according to the groups, would they not? Acha. To those who constantly maintain the stage of having good wishes for the self and the world. To those who make their every second and every thought elevated, to those who constantly maintain the awareness of their treasures, to those who are constantly overflowing with the nourishment of happiness, to those who give strength to all weak souls, to those who are able to transform the tamoguni nature and sanskars of all souls, to those who are constantly detached observers and companions, to such multi-million times fortunate souls who are the few out of millions and the handful from the few. Bap Dada's love, remembrance, and namaste. Om Shanti.